First time in 5 years that they have met, certainly the first time after the Galwan clashes, and now what is seemingly the normalization of ties. We have that piece of breaking news. 6 points of agreement have been arrived at between the two special representatives. That's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval of India and Wang Yi, the State Councillor of China. We'll get to that breaking story in just 1 second. An official press release has now been put out as well. Manoj Gupta has more details on this. We'll try and go across to that. The 6 points of agreement between India and China after the meeting of the special representatives. That's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and, of course, his counterpart, the State Councillor of the PRC, Mr. Wang Yi. But our debate focus tonight is going to be on what Union Home Minister Amit Shah said in the Constitution debate as he concluded the Constitution debate, was the final speaker in the debate as it concluded last night. He gave a hugely important news point, and that is with regard to the Uniform Civil Code, which of course has been a pet issue for the BJP since its inception back in 1980. The Home Minister said during the course of that debate that all BJP-ruled states will implement UCC state-wise, that there will not be any national bill on the introduction of a national Uniform Civil Code. What this does is it allows the states to frame a Uniform Civil Code as per their interests, as per their requirements. Now, the nub of the issue is this. India is a secular country where you have secular laws. You have one criminal code. The punishment for murder is the same, irrespective of what religion you belong to. There's one penal code. Why should you then have multiple civil codes? That's the argument from the BJP and the government benches. The opposition benches say they are opposed to this tooth and nail because A, they believe this will kill unity in diversity, and it will also trample upon minority rights and personal laws. After all, in India, we have personal laws basis religion. There are Muslim personal laws, there are Christian personal laws, Hindu personal laws, etc. Now, the question that needs to be asked is how much of this fear by the opposition is real and how much of it is imagined?
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार हर राज्य में कॉमन सिविल कोड लेकर आई।
Why is the Union Minister feeling shy of placing the bill on the Uniform Civil Code in Parliament?
You talk about UCC, but you don't talk about how will you able to take the tribals into UCC. So it is completely selective. The only reason is that they are against Muslims.
All right, that piece of breaking news we can go to now. The readout that's been put out after the meeting of the two special representatives, the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval with his counterpart Wang Yi of China. The details are now out. 6 points of consensus between India and China. The biggest of which, the Mansarovar Yatra, which is the holy pilgrimage for millions of Hindus, that will now resume. That had been stopped after the 2020 Galwan clashes. Discussion will also happen on the Nathula trade route, which could also likely get opened up soon enough in the next few months. There are other points of agreement and consensus between Beijing and New Delhi. Let's try and go across to Siddhant, who's, in fact, Akash is joining us on the phone line with more detail. All right, Siddhant is joining us with more details on this. Siddhant, so the Mansarovar Yatra is a highly important one in terms of people-to-people contact. It is something that is directly associated with the astha of millions of Hindus in the country. So walk us through that and what else has been agreed in this high-level meeting between the two special representatives. It's the first time that they've met in 5 years now.
Well, that's right, Zakka. In fact, this meeting is very, very significant. It was decided when President Xi and Prime Minister Modi met in Kazan that there would be a special representative talks between the two countries, and finally it's taking place in Beijing. So far we have the release from the Foreign Ministry of China. In fact, as you rightly pointed out, As far as people-to-people ties is concerned, Kailash Mansarovar Yatra resumption is perhaps something which has been mentioned in the release which has come from Foreign Ministry of China. In fact, Indian government has also been pushing for it. If you remember, Zakka, when EM Jaishankar met Wang Yi, perhaps this is ahead of the patrolling agreement, perhaps. At that point also, the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra was on the agenda. So this is something which is very significant. Other than this, Zakka.
All right, Siddhant, we'll leave it at that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to toss across to my colleague Anand, who's got a very, very special guest with him.
He's special not only for CNN News 18, but for all of Bharat. Big hello to world champion D. Gukesh.
Hello.
Gukesh,
Nice to
namaste, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
At 18, you are the youngest world champion. But I want to ask you, how did the bungee jump feel?
It was scary, but also a lot of fun.
What's the story behind the bungee jump? You become world champion and the first thing, you're on top of the world, and the first thing you do is to take a big jump. So what's the story behind that?
Yeah, so during one of the rest days after game 9, me and my trainer, Gaevsky, we went on a stroll at the beach. And Gaio looked at the bungee jumping thing that was there, and he said, if you win this match, I'm going to jump off that bridge. And I also said, I'm also scared of heights, so let me also do that if we win. And after we won the match, I thought, we should honor this deal that we made. So, yeah.
So that's phenomenal. But take us through this entire process to get to where you did. Was a long road and a tough one at that. So when did the preparations actually start?
This whole year was right from the time I started. I qualified for the candidates. It was, this journey has been beautiful, and the preparations for the match started right after we won I won the candidates, and for 6 months I've been preparing intensely for this match, and the match in itself was a huge emotional and physical struggle. So I'm glad to have won the match, and I'd like to thank my team for this whole journey. My trainer Gaevsky, my seconds Radislav Wojtaszek, Pentala Hari Krishna, Vincent Kaima, Jan Krzysztof Duda, and Limkowski for the candidates, and Vishy sir for all his help and mentorships. I'd like to thank all of them. And Paddy Upton, of course, for helping me prepare for this match emotionally, mentally, and
Can you give me some insights? Because you said physically you had to prepare. Mental preparation, yes. But were you able to outline certain areas of strengths versus certain areas of improvements? So which were the areas where you thought you needed to really, improve in order to match up to the reigning world champion, that is Ding Liren?
Yeah. First of all, the main thing was the chess preparation, which me and my team, I think we did a great job. And obviously, in a match match of this status, a lot of emphasis on the mental and physical side. And Paddy helped us in the physical side. I was regularly working out. I was doing yoga to maintain my shape. I was playing a lot of sports. And the mental side, I had a lot of conversations with Paddy to deal with the kind of pressure that the World Championship would force me to deal with. And I think a lot of our preparations was on point. Obviously, there were things that we could improve, but the preparation for this kind of match cannot be perfect. Overall, I think we did a great job.
Game 1 and 2 was a loss and a draw. And then between game 6 and 10, they were all draws. So did you recalibrate a bit? Did you assess Ding Liren's preparation? Take us through the process from game 1 to game 13. Then we'll talk about game 14. But game 1 to game 13.
Right. Game 1 was a tough blow. The first game at the World Championship, it's it's stressful, and yeah, I played a bad game and I lost that one. I got a bit excited, but yeah, although it was a scary moment, I always knew that I could, if I just keep my calm, I will get my chances because it's a long match. And there was also a nice moment during the match when after the press conference, I was heading back to my hotel room, and Vishesa was in the same lift as me, and he just said, like he said briefly about something about the game, and he said, I had in my World Championships, I had 11 games. You have 13 games, and
Ah.
it was kind of nice to know that my mentor and my role model has been in the same situation. He has powered through, so I got this confidence. And game two was a solid draw. Game three, I managed to equal tie the score, and then long period of draws where I missed my chances, but it was clear that I was the one, the fretful. And and then yeah, I won the 11th game, but then Ding played an amazing game on the 12th. The score was tied with 2 games to go. We were heading for tie breaks, and then 13th game I again missed the winning chance, but in the 14th I think I managed to put enough pressure on him for him to finally crack.
Are you able to assess where you actually went wrong? Or is there a set of denial saying, I did everything right, but still I didn't win, to cope with losses? How does it work for you?
Yeah, I think the part of this part of the preparation was getting ready to deal with things when they go wrong, and we knew that there could be some games where I am a bit off, and the results could go the other way, and we were prepared mentally for it. Although it was quite a tough pill to swallow during the match, we always knew that it's most about how you react to it. And, like obviously we learn from the mistakes. We try not to repeat them. We try our best to focus on the next game. And yeah, games 1 and 12, I had to show some mental resistance to overcome these unpleasant situations. But I think me and my team we did a pretty good job handling different kinds of situations.
You are a self proclaimed introvert, but how do you deal with anger and your own disappointment? What's your reaction? How do you let it out? There must be some way to let it out. After that game that you lost, it was important for you to have, and then when you realize it's a draw, you're from a position of victory, you end up drawing the match. There must be some anger, there must be some frustration. How do you let it out so that you're able to wipe the slates clean emotionally?
Yeah, I think firstly I'm like I was a bit more introverted than I am right now. I think I changed a bit recently. I started also enjoying being social and stuff. So and how I deal with emotions, I think yeah, I mean initially as a kid I was always very short tempered. I was always very emotional, but I think a lot of emotional mental practices that I did with yoga, meditation, stuff like that, it helped me manage my emotions better. And yeah, in the World Championship, there were a lot of emotional and scary moments. Like after after this game nine, I was a bit scared that I wasn't being able to give it my 100% as I had expected or hoped before the match. And one of the things that I did was to just open up with my trainer. I told him that I was scared, and we talked things through. We kind of yeah, he suggested some things. We looked for solutions, and yeah, I was able to overcome. So yeah, negative emotions are always there, but it's about how you react and uh, how you deal with.
Is there a go-to song or a go-to ritual or a routine that helps you perk up? Do you have a punching bag that you just go and punch out all the frustration, or some song that you like to listen to that just brings your mood up?
I think I generally feel good when I follow my routines. And I think during the match, at least, I mean during all kinds of any tournament, I follow this routine. And during the match also, I was very disciplined with my routines, and I was doing pretty much the same thing from day one to the final day. So yeah, it's about my routines being mindful and doing every little thing full attention.
So what helps you? Music, spirituality? What's this routine? Can you tell us a little bit about it? If it's not a very closely guarded secret, so some bits of it.
It's no secret, but just like little things like talking with my mom, uh, like praying to God and stuff like that. Just to do the simple things repeatedly and consistently. But there's no special thing that I do which is like magic weapons.
Your dad travels with you, but your mom seems to be the one who keeps you grounded. Is that true?
Yeah, very much so. My dad travels with me. He takes care of all the stuff that is happening around my career, so that I can fully focus on the game. And my mom stays back at home, and she is the one who supports me emotionally. And whoever as I am as a person, it's I think the utmost credit goes to my mom, and she is the one who like uh, as spiritually, emotionally, a lot of things. She is the one who has had the biggest influence.
Is she more? What is more important for your mom? How you play or how you conduct yourself? How you are as a person?
Yeah, I think my mom from the start, she has always been particular about being a good person, and I remember she says this a lot, that she'll be very happy to hear that I'm a great chess player, but even happier to hear that I'm even greater person. So I think this one thing has been very important for me to achieve and to strive for greatness in chess, but also not lose who I am as a person.
Your dad came out and gave you a big hug. We have those pictures as you walked out after the press conference. What did your mom do? That's not there. I've not seen it. So I'm asking you.
Yeah, yeah. We hugged. Me and my dad hugged, and then I hugged my trainer Gayu, who was also there. Uh, and uh, and my mom, I like as soon as I got into the van, I called my mom. And, yeah, we both were in tears at that point. And Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful moment. Pity that I couldn't see her live. I mean, what was her reaction? But oh, I'm sure she was very happy. And then the next day she already was in Singapore. She flew the next day, and yeah, we had a nice time in Singapore. We traveled back home. Yeah, it was quite fun.
Now let's talk about the final. 30 moves, there were some places where things were going up and downy, and then suddenly the game seemed to turn, and Ding Liren was getting into time trouble. Take
Yeah.
us through the process. What happened there on the final game? I'm sure you've replayed the whole match, move to move, multiple times in your head. So take us through. Where did you get an inkling or a thought that maybe I have it? Maybe Gukesh, you got the better of Ding Liren.
Yeah, it was a high pressure game. The final game, everything was dependent on that, and I mean, obviously the draw is still the very likely outcome, which is game, and the tie breaks were still the most likely outcome. But I was not really worried about the tie breaks. I was just wanted to play a good game in the final round, and I think I equalized out of the opening. I got a nice position, and then he tried. A bit desperately to make a draw. Um, After I had equalized, and then I got this pleasant end game which I could press for a long time. And yeah, I was making very small progress, but objectively overall it should end in a ish draw. I mean this position, but I mean after 13 games of intense fight and 6 months of intense preparation, you come to the final game. It's like very stressful, and you're emotionally and physically drained at that point, and mistakes happen. So the when he made this final final mistake, look at through, I spotted that I had the spinning resource, and at that moment, yeah, I was super excited, and then he got it.
But you showed great restraint after that moment. And this is something that I will love you forever for what you did, is put back the pieces where they were. Tell me what made you do that? Because you waited. Everybody was waiting for you, and you said no. You're going to fight back the tears. You're just crying, and I can see those pictures, and I was crying too. I'll be honest. It brought tears to my eyes. But tell me, what made you do what you did?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was obviously I was quite emotional, excited, many emotions running through at that moment. But for me, it was always been a habit to put back the pieces, put back the pieces after the game. And my initial coaches, they were particular about me paying due respect to the game, to the board and the pieces that I've played the game, and it has just been a way of it has just been like a ritual that I put back the pieces. I pray to God and I show respect to the
Yeah.
respect to chess. It has over the years it has become a part of me. From the start, it has my trainers have stressed this point, and yeah, it's just a part of me. I think that's the best way
Well,
to explain.
as you talk about it, I'm getting emotional. That's what it means to have respect for the game, and that value system. So salute to your parents, your mother and your father for that. But did you at that time think, at 11 years age? I remember there's a viral video now, but I remember that moment when you said, "I want to be world champion." So as you were sitting there with tears flowing through your eyes, did you see that this is manifest? Do you believe in this power of manifestation?
Yeah, true. I think everything starts with a dream, and looking back at the 8-year-old kid, the 7-year-old kid who initially thought of this moment, who this, as I said, like this moment I'd probably lived a million times over the years, and to actually be there, it meant a lot, and it started from that dream. All these efforts and all this time and energy put in would have been nothing. Uh, would have meant nothing if not for this dream that I had as a kid. So yeah, I think at that moment that little kid would have been very proud.
Vishy sir, how important is he? I spoke with him. I was able to speak with Vishy sir soon after your victory. He was so proud, and he had seen your game. But what is the role that he has played? We'll come to one by one all your coaches who you mentioned, including Paddy Upton and Gayu. But first, Vishy sir.
Yeah, Vishy sir, right from the start, he has been an inspiration and role model for me. Uh, I obviously once I like very soon after I got into chess, there was this World Championship match in 13 in Chennai between Vishy sir and Magnus, and I went there live one day to watch the game, to see them inside the glass box playing the match, and I thought it'd be cool to be there one day. And once Magnus won the title, I thought it should be me who brings the title back home. And throughout the years, Vishy sir has been not only an inspiration and a role model, but also he took it upon himself to like make chess what it is in India, help the youngsters, the next generation to take their chess forward. He together with Westbridge Capital, he created Westbridge Anand Chess Academy, and he invited me to be a part of the academy, and I learned a lot through the academy. Obviously, my work with Kayevsky, my trainer, started with the academy with help of Vishy sir and Westbridge. Um, and he's always been there to talk, to analyze chess. He has given me and a lot of youngsters a lot of time and energy to make chess what it is, and we are all indebted to Vishy sir in a huge way. And also, I would like to mention my sponsors, Westbridge, Sandeep sir. He has been like my sponsor has been like very supportive for the last 1 year in many started with the partnership with Zakka, and then they decided to personally sponsor me. And not only the financial support, which has been very crucial, in preparations for this whole cycle. But also, you know, them as individuals, they supported us like very the whole Westbridge team supported us very uh, in a huge way emotionally. They're always there to encourage, and Sandeep sir usually often travels to tournaments to root for me. Yeah, all these things mean
Fantastic. And has the Federation, All India Chess Federation, also helped you?
for sure. All India Chess Federation, they've also done a lot. You know, it was I think also a great moment, and it was also a nice fitting moment where in the Olympiad India won 2 gold medals. It shows the kind of support that the government and the federation has given to chess and the chess players. So it's yeah, the whole community for chess in India. It's unbelievably strong.
How did Paddy Upton help you, and how did you come into contact with him? Because we know him as somebody who trained mentally helped the conditioning coach of the cricket team, and he's worked with cricket teams. But to work with a chess player, and how did that happen? How has he helped you?
Right. So our work with Paddy basically started soon after the candidates. In preparation for the World Championship, I and my team we thought it would be nice to work with a mental conditioning coach because the experience demands high mental toughness and yeah. So we told my sponsors Westbridge, Sandeep sir about this, and Sandeep sir was so quick in order to take action. And, like he immediately got in touch with Paddy, and we that's how our work started, and he has been a huge support. He has like we prepared for all kinds of scenarios in this match. We visualized a lot of stuff. Prepared ourselves for all kinds of stuff that will happen, how I will feel during the match, and how will I react to it. Everything was planned, and especially Paddy being part of high level sports for so many years has had many insightful suggestions which really helped me in this match. So I'd like to thank Westbridge and Paddy for this amazing.
No, we'd like to thank all of them because that's the reason. They're all contributed some way or the other. They may be soldiers or pawns, but they have played their role in trying to make you the king of chess. But now you're a champion. You're no longer challenger, Gukesh. So how does that change things?
To be honest, it does not. It's obviously the world champion title, the win, and the uh, kind of kind of uh, support that I see from India in the world of chess. It means a lot to me. But my overall approach does not change much because I still want to have a long career, play a lot of chess, keep working hard, and try to reach my full potential and become the best player in the world. And I think in terms of that, it's still a very very long way to. Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the whole journey, and I strongly believe this is just the start of a very long and enjoyable journey.
Did you get a chance to speak with the Prime Minister? Did PM Modi call you? Any plans to meet him?
Yeah, I was super excited, honored to see Honorable Prime Minister Sir's tweet after I had won the match, and not only this match but also after the candidates and the Olympiad. We had met with them, and it was a huge honor. And hopefully in the next few days I will be able to meet the Honorable Minister Sir and get his support.
Well, Gukesh, how are you placed on the 17th of January? Because the Indian of the Year here at CNN News 18 is on the 17th of January, and you are nominated as one of the rising stars. And let me tell you, the popular vote is for D. Gukesh. So you are our Indian of the Year rising star.
Wow, I'm super honored honored to know that. Um, I don't know much about my schedule right now, actually, but it's. I'm really glad to know. Thank you.
17th of January, it's in Delhi. So if you're not traveling, not playing a tournament, you must be there. But otherwise, we request your mother, because she's the one who doesn't travel, to join us, and you will have to join us online from wherever you are. I'm going to exact
I
that
will-
promise from you.
We would be honored to. And and yeah, we'll surely keep in touch. I mean, I would love to be.
More than you loving to be here, we would love to have you here. So let's try and make this happen, Gukesh. I'm so proud of you. We are all so proud of you here at the News 18 family. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Onward and upward, and stay champion forever. That's what my prayers are.
Thanks a lot. I will try my best, and it means a lot to hear this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And respect to your parents and regards to them too. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Well, we're going to take a very short break. Stay with us. Brass Tacks on the other side.
खुद को पैम्पर करें।
He has announced his retirement. In fact, he's one of the greatest cricketers to have represented India. And finally, he's decided to draw curtains on his career after having taken over 700 wickets across the format. So that's the news coming in about Ravichandran Ashwin, who has announced retirement from international cricket. Let me go straight across now to CNN News 18's Anand Narsiman for more on this. Anand, good morning. So big news coming in. R. Ashwin bringing an end to his glorious international career. Give us a little bit more about, this big decision that he has taken. Was it coming? Are you surprised? Is it a stunning development?
Well, talk has been going on for a while, and he has been towards the sunset of his career for a while. And with the others coming into the play, Ashwin must have decided to call time on his career at a point where he believed that there was not much for him to add. Although we believe that he will continue to show his wares or fly his wares in the T20 format, that is IPL. Mm-hmm. But Ashwin for sure is someone that Indian cricket will sorely miss, because he has delivered and he has stood up for the country when it mattered most. And who can ever forget how we got our T20 World Cup victory again, because of that presence of mind that he showed as a very, very sharp cricketer. A ball bowled outside his leg stump, and then he just stood out there, and it was called a wide, and then driving the next ball up to a boundary and getting India that impossible victory was something which everybody watched. The minds that he used with respect to when we played Pakistan. But even in Test cricket, he has been Bharat's go-to guy, Team India's go-to guy at many points, and not just as a bowler but also as a batsman across the formats. He has come in lower down the order and stemmed the rut, and oftentimes pulled us out of a hole, and from a position of discomfort and position of disadvantage, taken us to a position from where we have eventually gone on to either save the test or even win it. So there are many, many classic, examples there. More importantly, Ashwin has always spoken his mind. He always believed that he was up for leadership at some point in his career. He also believed that he should be leading the side as a captain. He tried to lead sides and also prove his merit as a captain. But somehow, with injuries, also with him being a little too matter of fact and straight up in terms of talking with a straight bat, sometimes also put paid to some of his chances. But overall, he's come back. Whenever people have written him off, he has come back. Whenever people have thought that he will not be able to deliver, he has come back and stood up for the country. And oftentimes he's been called for duties, national duty, when he was actually playing List A or first class cricket, thinking that his career is over or he's not going to get called. But he has, and he had 700 plus international wickets in international cricket across the three formats. Many thought he would try and go up to 800 and try and get somewhere closer to Muthiah Muralidharan. Unfortunately, that's not true. But yes, across his first class career, he has more than 800 wickets across all formats of the game, and something that we should be very, very proud of. that the soon to be or just turned 38-year-old, he's about 38 years and 92 days as of now. So he was towards the sunset of his career. India will fondly remember him every time, and with a lot of respect, because he brought a certain brevity, competitiveness, and also chutzpah, which few cricketers can bring. And he's not just a spinner. He was an all-rounder in the true sense, because he could do his bit with the bat, and oftentimes he's helped us. And everybody would see that after some of the Sri Lankan spinners, someone who mastered the carom ball and showed how it is done was also Ravichandran Ashwin.
He has announced his retirement. In fact, he's one of the greatest cricketers to have represented India. And finally, he's decided to draw curtains on his career after having taken over 700 wickets across the format. So that's the news coming in about Ravichandran Ashwin, who has announced retirement from international cricket. Let me go straight across now to CNN News 18's Anand Narasimhan for more on this. Anand, good morning. So big news coming in. R. Ashwin bringing an end to his glorious international career. Give us a little bit more about, this big decision that he has taken. Was it coming?
So is India ready for state-wise UCC, the Uniform Civil Code, to be implemented by BJP-ruled states? That's the promise made by Home Minister Amit Shah while he was speaking on the Constitution debate. The opposition says this will kill unity in diversity and that this will kill personal freedoms and personal laws. The question is, in a secular country, can you have multiple civil codes when you have one criminal code, one penal code? Joining us on the debate tonight, let me go straight across to our guests who are joining us. Tuhin Sinha is national spokesperson of the BJP. Tariq Khan, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Aman Sinha, senior advocate of the Supreme Court, is also joining us. Tuhin Sinha, let me start with you first. The opponents of the UCC say that it fundamentally does not sit well with either Article 14, which is the article that guarantees equality before law, or for that matter, Article 25, which is the one that allows you to profess the faith of your choice. They say that personal laws, whether it is Muslim personal laws, Hindu personal laws, Christian personal laws, will all get steamrolled if the Uniform Civil Code were to be introduced. And the declaration made yesterday by the Home Minister that you will introduce it state-wise, much like Uttarakhand has done it. How can you have one uniform set of laws for BJP-ruled states and another set of laws for opposition-ruled states? If this has to happen, this has to be a national civil code.
Well, good evening, Zakka. Good evening, everybody. The UCC is an ideological commitment for us, much like the abrogation of Article 370 was, much like CAA was, and we are committed to go ahead with it. Now, every difficult or every complex issue involves a different approach, and here we have decided that because of the complexities involved, the states ruled by the BJP would be taking the lead, leading to paving the way for a consensus at the national level. Now, I don't understand how it contravenes Article 14 of the Constitution, because in a way, it actually perpetuates inequality. Those who are opposed to UCC are essentially those who want polygamy to continue, who want child marriages to continue, and who don't want gender equality. We are, addressing all of these issues. In fact, as recently as on 19th October, the Supreme Court had rejected the central government's plea for, extending Prevention of Child Marriage Act to all communities. This disparity is what we want to end. And as far as the modus operandi or as far as the operationalization of UCC is concerned, if Uttarakhand and Goa can execute it well enough, there is no reason why 10 other states, 12 other states ruled by the BJP would, making the Congress, giving an example to the Congress how it can be implemented at the national level.
So let me ask Tariq Khan. Tariq Khan, ultimately in this country you have one penal code, you have one set of criminal laws. The punishment for murder, for example, is the same, whether the murderer happens to be Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whatever it is. So then how can you have multiple civil codes? The idea that this somehow, Tariq Khan, does not sit well with Article 14, which is equality before law. You can't have one marriageable age for Muslims, one marriageable age for Christians, one divorce laws for Hindus. I mean, it just does not sit well with Article 14.
The state of Uttarakhand complementing its own UCC. How? they have excluded tribals from UCC. So this is how you will do that. They'll be allowed polygamy. So if you want polygamy to be banned for Muslims only, have a separate law that it would be banned for only Muslims. Now, tribals, many tribals had been excluded in Uttarakhand, named as Jansor, Tharu, Raji, Buksa, and Bhotia. These are the tribals being excluded from UCC in Uttarakhand. Now, tribals believe that females will not be getting their share in the assets of the family. So the females of those families, though tribal, will not go those things. That means that if you're talking about UCC, how you will deal with Hindu undivided family? More than 8 lakh families every year got benefited, many benefit, tax benefit, in bank loan benefit, including that. More than 8 lakh families got benefit with Hindu undivided family. What you'll do with that? You'll spare, you'll block those benefits. It's all right. If you want to do that, please clarify what you will do with tribals, as you have exempted in
No, but Mr. Tariq Khan, no one is stopping. For example, Mr. Khan, one second. For example, if Uttar Pradesh wants to do UCC, and if all parties come to a consensus that tribals should be kept out of the ambit of UCC, what's wrong with that?
So why you are talking about equality? Why you are talking about powers of women being they would be given means share of the family asset? Means what will do about that? And if you are talking about uniformity, it would be across the India and in a diversified countries where cultures, tradition differ even every 10 kilometers and 20 kilometers. How will bring you in uniformity? Tell us the way. We'll be ready to talk about that.
Aman Sinha, the argument that's being made by the opposition is that, look, we are too diverse a country. Languages change, cultures change, food habits change, dress codes change, practices change. Therefore, you cannot have a one-size-fits-all uniform civil code.
Therefore, all the more reason for having a uniform civil code. And we must all understand, Zakka, you know it better than anybody else. Article 44 of the Constitution mandates that the state shall endeavour to secure for all its citizens uniform civil code. It is a part of the Constitution. Article 14 guarantees equality before law and equal protection of law. Article 15 prohibits discrimination of any kind on grounds of religion, caste, creed, sex, etc. Now, secularism is an integral part of preamble of the Constitution. Religion-specific personal laws are nowhere going to be, in consonance to this constitutional position. They are in absolute contravention and violation to the preamble of the Constitution, to Article 14, 15 and 44 clearly mandates that there has to be a uniform civil code. Now, UCC will not only uphold the secular character of the nation, it will foster unity and integrity of the country. It will prohibit discrimination, especially among women and children. And therefore, the Supreme Court on 11 occasions, Zakka, has upheld and actually stated, asked the union government on different occasions that what steps have been taken to ensure implementation of the Uniform Civil Code, not in one but several matters, whether it was Shah Bano, whether it was the John Vallatum case in 2003 or Saroj Pandey case in 1995. But in none of those occasions, any government of that day, they made any steps, they took any steps towards implementation or enactment of the Uniform Civil Code. This is the first government under leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and very aptly stated by Home Minister Amit Shah yesterday on floor of the House that the time is ripe, the time is right, and we cannot delay it further. There has to be a Uniform Civil Code. One more thing, Zakka, that those who are waiving the Constitution would be better served if they read the articles of the Constitution instead of just simply waiving it, and that serves no purpose at all. In fact, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, in the Constituent Assembly, just one short point, Zakka.
Truncated debate, sir. So I want to get others in as well, with your permission. Let me ask Sanket Yanagi. The moot point is,
Zakka, Dr. Ambedkar also supported UCC. He supported abolition of these religion-specific personnel laws.
Okay, let me ask Sanket Yanagi. For succession, for example, in this country, Hindu women are entitled to share of ancestral property. Muslim women are entitled only to 1/8 of share of ancestral property. Christian women were not entitled to share of ancestral property until Mary Roy went to the Supreme Court and challenged that, and the Supreme Court, ruled favorably. Why should women of different faiths have different succession laws in this country? Divorce laws, for example, for all religions, the period of reconciliation is one year. For Christian women, it is 2 years. In the case of Muslim women, a Muslim woman cannot go to court and seek a divorce on grounds that the husband has more than one wife. Why? Why this discrimination? If you have divorce and marriage and succession laws in this country, it should be the same for everybody.
First of all, there are two questions in my personal opinion. Number one, whether the uniform civil code is necessary for the country like India, which is known for diversified cultures, number one. Number two, if so, which are all the points which need to be taken care of? Maybe Article 48 specifying as a part of the directive principles of state policy to have a common or uniform civil code. But what are to be taken care of, and what are all the important aspects that should not be violated in the guise of having a code? Those are also the points which need to be taken care of. Now, first is, one cannot have law just like that because they are building or they have their majority numbers. There need to be a legal consultation with the aggrieved parties or the stakeholders. There need to be a wide consultation which is required, number one. Number two, the age of marriage differs from community to community. That needs to be addressed.
How does, I don't get it. If the age of getting a driver's license, the age to vote is all the same, then why should the age of marriage differ from community to community? It makes no sense.
They are governed by the personal laws. That needs to be addressed now.
So that's exactly what I'm saying. If drinking age is uniform, voting age is uniform, driving age is uniform, marriageable age should also be uniform. It's common sense.
No, that is not just that. That needs to be addressed scientifically as well. Number two.
Scientifically?
Number three.
One second. Why scientifically? What is anatomically different in Hindu girls as opposed to Muslim girls as opposed to Christian girls? What is scientific about having different ages for each of these women for marriage?
There may be some scientific reason for which they might have incorporated those provisions.
What is the scientific reason? Give me one.
That is how I cannot say it here over the TV debate. That is how I am saying stakeholders must be involved in a consultation process. They will be in a better position to explain.
Let me ask Tariq, do you know of any scientific reason why marriage age for Muslims, Christians, Hindus is all different when they're all given driver's license at 18, when they're all given voting rights at 18?
Let me give you one illustration.
That should be equal
under the Hindu law,
because that should be on the basis of biological factors, and that should be a matured level to have certain things. Means there should be a age for the girls to be married. Means it should be equal to all. There should be no discrimination amongst the religion.
No,
but
similarly,
we have to look at it at the different level. What means we have to look at the tribals, means what will do that.
No, but Mr. Khan, you agree that marriageable age should be the same for all women across religions. One second.
It should be.
Now, can you also please tell me why then options for divorce, options for succession should not be the same for women across religions?
Everybody is ready to debate. Everybody is ready to debate. Let's have a debate. What would be how we will implement it? We will implement it in fractions, in a divided means how it will be uniform as it is divided already in Uttarakhand. It is divided in Goa as well. A woman who's not giving birth to a baby boy, the husband will get advantage to have another marriage. Now, what is this? This is uniformity. You are talking about uniformity. You are talking about polygamy. It would be different for tribal. It would be different for Hindus.
Let Tuin Sinha and then Aman Sinha respond to it. Yeah, Tuin Sinha. First of all, you are having exceptions for tribals. then you have exceptions now. You're saying
no,
only
so
BJP ruled states will do it. How then is it a uniform civil code across the country?
No, you know, Zakka, they don't understand that the exception for tribals is because of the constitutional safeguards provided to tribals by way of Schedule 5 and Schedule 6 of the Constitution. But the same constitutional safeguard is not provided on the basis of religion. They need to understand, they need to read up the Constitution. Zakka, we have lost two golden opportunities. One, when the Hindu Marriage Act was introduced in 1955, that should have been the ideal opportunity to introduce UCC. And number two, in the mid-1980s, in the Shah Bano case, when Rajiv Gandhi he turned over a judgment of the Supreme Court denying a measly 180 rupees to a poor Muslim woman. I think, we have lost two golden opportunities. This government believes in transformative politics. This government believes in taking the country ahead, and we will ensure that UCC comes into existence. But yes, like I said, the operationalization of it will be in a different way. So states will be taking the lead over here, leading and paving the way for unanimity at the national level.
Sinha, critics of the UCC argue that it could infringe upon fundamental rights that are guaranteed under Article 25 of the Constitution, which is the freedom to practice, profess, propagate one's own religion. The argument is that the state, especially in a secular state, the state cannot be seen as interfering in personal laws, which could be seen as an infringement on religious practices.
Zakka, actually, the legal argument is to the contrary, because it will ensure the enforcement of fundamental rights as enshrined under Article 14, the right to equality, equal protection of laws, and under Article 15, which is prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, on grounds of caste, creed, and sex, etc. So therefore, this goes towards the enforcement of fundamental rights. As far as religious practices are concerned, Zakka, there is no tinkering with any essential religious practice, and therefore there is no impinging on Article 25 of the Constitution, Zakka. And as you know, these questions have been examined thoroughly by the Supreme Court of India on not one but 11 occasions, as Home Minister Amit Shah also stated on floor of the House. And on each and every time, actually, Supreme Court has asked the Union government as to what steps have been taken for the implementation. As on consultation process, the consultations have been going since past 75 years and more, from the time when our Constituent Assembly was in vogue, in force, and through the years, whether it was in various judicial pronouncements and subsequently before various forums. So there has been enough consultation. Now, the model of implementation, the other question that you were referring to, Zakka, the fact is that all these subjects, they are in concurrent list of the Constitution of Article of 7th Schedule, and therefore the Union Legislature as well as the State Legislature is competent to enact on these subjects. Now, as far as these subjects are concerned, once now Uttarakhand Uniform Civil Code is implemented, we will all have our own learnings. It will be widely debated, discussed, and if there are any evolution, any improvements which are required to be met, it will be met. But let us not run away from the fact, let us not take from the fact that it is a big step towards ending discrimination of women and children, which is an affront to Article 15 of the Constitution. It will go towards the proper implementation and ensuring that Article 14 of the Constitution is implemented in letter and spirit, and people have equal protection of laws. It will go towards upholding the secular character of the Indian state, which is enshrined in the preamble of Constitution. It will go towards providing justice, social, economic and otherwise to the citizens of India as enshrined in the Constitution of India. Therefore is a major historic step in the right direction, and I think all right-minded citizens, all citizens would wholeheartedly support this.
We'll leave it at that. Let's see how this plays out, because now it's clear that it's going to be beyond the realm of Parliament. It's going to be in the realm of state legislatures that the Uniform Civil Code will be initially brought in, particularly in BJP-ruled states. We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much to all our guests. I want to move on to an exclusive that we have. This whole business about Canada and the Canadian state pandering to Khalistani elements. We have an exclusive story, an investigation that CNN News 18's Bhupinder Azad has done, which has thrown up some startling facts and astounding figures. Since 2013, 10 years ago, Canada has provided sanctuary. It's provided political asylum to a number of elements, a number of dubious characters. But after 2019, which is when Jagmeet Singh's party, the NDP, tied up in an alliance with Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party, there's been a significant spike in the number of people, Khalistani elements, who have sought political asylum in Canada and have been granted that. CNN News 18's exclusive investigation has also blown the lid on the donations that have been made by convicted terrorists. 2 convicted terrorists in the Kanishka bombing case contributing political donations both to Justin Trudeau's party and to Jagmeet Singh's party.
Canada's soft spot for Khalistani sympathizers is an open secret. And it's not just limited to giving them a platform or turning a blind eye to their provocations. The Canadian government under Justin Trudeau has systematically been giving Khalistani elements shelter in the country. CNN News 18 has evidence of just how Khalistani elements have been given asylum in Canada since 2013, and this trend increased manifold after 2019. The year Trudeau saved his government by getting NDP's Jagmeet Singh on board. Your channel wrote to the Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada seeking details of that disturbing trend in this month, and their response only confirmed our suspicion. Over the last 10 years, Canada has finalized 3,851 militant-linked asylum claims. As per the Canadian government, a Sikh militant is a claimant who says that they are in danger because they are members of or associated with a Sikh militant organization or group in their alleged country of persecution. In this case, these asylum seekers listed India as their country of persecution. From less than 100 cases before 2020 to 143 in 2021 and over 811 cases in 2022. The number claims finalized by the Refugee Protection Division went up by over 700% in the recent years.
These are not just numbers, these are facts. Facts that Canada cannot ignore. Over 3,800 asylum claims finalized with militant and Sikh militant connections, nearly all citing India as the persecutor. But we at CNN News 18 reveal an even darker truth. Individuals tied to the 1985 Air India bombing, one of the worst terror attacks in history, donated money to Canadian political campaigns. How deep do these ties go? And what does this mean for Canada's claim of fighting extremism?
So why did so many Sikh militants get refuge in Canada? Was Trudeau and his ally benefiting financially? While there is no definitive link, documents accessed by CNN News 18 reveal that many Khalistani sympathizers have often donated to both the Liberal Party and the NDP. Financial records from the Elections Canada reveal donations made to Canadian political Jagmeet Singh by individuals tied in the 1985 Air India bombing, Ripudaman Singh Malik and Inderjeet Singh Riath. Inderjeet Singh Riath was the only terrorist convicted in the Air India Flight 182 bombing that killed 329 people in 1985. He has donated close to $3,000 to Jagmeet Singh's party. While Ripudaman Singh was killed in Canada in 2022, Inderjeet Singh Riath is now a free man in Canada. He's returned to normal life after spending 2 decades in prison. Despite his role in the deaths of over 300 innocent people, Riath was free in 2017, and since then he has been consistently donated to the NDP.
As Canada grapples with its diplomatic fallout with India, this revelation adds fuel to the fire. Over 3,800 asylum claims, growing extremist network, and now financial ties to politicians. Canada's PM Justin Trudeau may call this allegation, but the numbers tell a different story, a story Canada can no longer bury. This is Bhupendra Azad for CNN News 18.
Green Lamp Laminates presents CNN News 18 Primetime Studio.
We're live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studio, presented by Green Lamb Laminates. Viewers, it's been 24 hours since Union Home Minister Amit Shah stood up in the Rajya Sabha yesterday, and you can see those pictures. And he led a minutely researched attack on the Congress and how the Congress party over the years has not done justice to the Constitution of India. The attack by Mr. Shah was almost like a dissertation on how the Congress had bent the articles of the Constitution to serve its own interests, and at times also undermine the interests of the nation. Amit Shah schooled the Congress even on its duplicity over Dr. Ambedkar. Viewers, today the Union Home Minister Amit Shah had to hold a press conference where he had to come out and clarify and also go on to further expose the Congress after the latter decided to take an 13-second clip of his entire speech out of context to claim that Amit Shah had actually denigrated the founder of India's Constitution, the chairman of the drafting committee of India's Constitution, the person who led a rights campaign seeking justice for Dalits in this country. Viewers, Amit Shah had to hold this press conference because about 8 months ago, the Congress had similarly amplified a number of posts on social media that later turned out to be the work of generative AI that seemed to suggest that Amit Shah had pledged to do away with reservations. The BJP realized that fake news, as you know, viewers, bad news, fake news travels faster, that fake news had actually begun to hurt its electoral prospects. And it did cost them, viewers. As you know, the